Well, it's basically the summertime, and what better to do than play a bunch of new mobile games rather than going outside. Today I have a list of 15 brand new mobile games that are releasing in June 2026. I'm gonna break down all of them, let you know what they're about, if they're worth it, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you my 2 favorites from the list, as I always do. And transparently, there's a few on here that don't suck, so let's dive in. Pokemon Champion strips away much of the exploration and story content of the traditional Pokemon games and focuses almost entirely on competitive battling. Players construct teams, select 4 Pokemon from a 6 Pokemon lineup, and compete in strategic, single, or double battles. Familiar mechanics such as type advantages, abilities, held items, and Mega Evolution return, while victory points can be used to recruit Pokemon or adjust their moves, stats, and natures. The biggest attraction is how quickly it gets players into meaningful battles without requiring dozens of hours of preparation. The colorful 3D stadiums, flashy attack animations, and familiar Pokemon cries give each match the presentation of a major tournament. Ranked, casual, and private battles make this primarily an online experience with cross-platform competition between mobile and Nintendo Switch players and support for bringing compatible Pokemon over through Pokemon Home. Next, we have Replicat, which is a clever roguelike deck builder that transforms the familiar memory matching game into something much more strategic. Instead of simply turning over cards and trying to remember their locations, players build a deck, collect items, and create combinations that change how cards interact. Every run encourages experimentation with different effects, allowing you to bend or completely break the normal rules of matching. Its charming cat-themed artwork gives the game plenty of personality, while the clean visual design makes complicated combinations easy to understand. The fun comes from discovering an unexpectedly powerful build and watching several bonuses activate together. It's better suited to thoughtful solo sessions than competitive multiplayer, making it a strong choice for players who enjoy offline-friendly puzzle games, deck builders, and roguelikes. Grabby Crab. Well, that sounds fun already. This is a compact puzzle game in which you guide a determined little crab through collapsing temple chambers. Your objective is to collect the gemstone and reach the exit portal, but every movement can destroy part of the floor beneath you. That means the route towards the treasure may not necessarily be the route you need to take when escaping. The colorful ruins, expressive crab, and shiny treasures give the game a bright, playful art style, even as the puzzles become increasingly dangerous. Its fun factor comes from short levels that are easy to understand and require careful planning to master. The sound effects help communicate crumbling pathways and successful gem grabs, and the game is designed mainly as a single-player puzzle experience that can be enjoyed in quick sessions. Rift Wars is a fast-moving strategy game built around short 1v1 battles. Players collect unusual fighters, assemble a squad, and then draft, merge, or upgrade units during combat. Success is not only determined by having powerful characters, you also need to recognize useful combinations, react to opponents' formations, and decide when to invest resources into evolving a particular unit. The battles are colorful and visually busy, with units colliding across compact arenas while abilities and effects fire in rapid succession. Its biggest strength is the mixture of auto-battling accessibility and genuine tactical decision-making. Because the central mode places you against real opponents and includes rankings, Rift Wars is primarily an online game aimed at players who enjoy competitive matches that only take a few minutes to complete. Ragnarok Origin Classic. I actually just did a live stream on the channel for this game, and I'll be leaving a link in the description if you want to get some early access and some extra rewards. This is a classic MMORPG that returns players to the colorful fantasy world of Midgard. You create a character, select a class, and travel through large environments, completing quests, fighting monsters, and collecting equipment, and joining other players for dungeons, bosses, and guild activity. Its class system allows characters to advance into more specialized roles, giving players plenty of room to experiment with skills, stats, and equipment builds. And it's worth noting that the developer basically built this version of the game to be completely free-to-play accessible. This one doesn't have pay-to-win mechanics in it like Ragnaroks of the past, which is pretty sweet. The presentation of the game combines colorful 3D environments with cute character designs and monster artwork that always define Ragnarok. Cheerful town music, energetic battle themes, and familiar sound effects give the world a nostalgic atmosphere. It's heavily focused on online play, with guilds, parties, trading, and competitive activities forming an important part of the experience, although players can still complete many quests and progression activities on their own. Monster Boy is a large side-scroller action-adventure game inspired by the classic Wonder Boy series. Players explore an interconnected world filled with enemies, platforming challenges, hidden pathways, and environmental puzzles. The defining mechanic is the ability to transform into several different creatures, with each form providing unique movement and combat abilities that open new areas of the map. This is one of the most visually impressive games on the list, using bright hand-drawn animation that looks like an interactive cartoon. The upbeat soundtrack and smooth animations make exploration consistently enjoyable, while boss battles and hidden collectibles provide more challenge for experienced players. It's a premium-style single-player adventure designed to be played offline, and the mobile game release brings a substantial console-quality experience to iOS devices. Yadman is a chaotic multiplayer brawler inspired by Jamaican street culture. Between 2 and 10 players enter colorful urban environments and fight using unconventional weapons such as rocks, tree branches, brooms, steel pipes, slingshots, and machetes. Rather than taking itself seriously, the combat is built around exaggerated physics, unpredictable encounters, and humorous moments between players. Its Jamaican setting is the feature that truly separates it from other mobile brawlers. The environments, characters, language, and overall attitude give it a strong cultural identity, while the energetic sound design complements the frantic action. This is primarily an online social experience, and much of the fun comes from entering a match with friends and seeing how quickly an ordinary street fight turns into complete chaos. Supercar Gang's Auto is an open-world driving game that turns a large modern city into a playground for racing, missions, and high-speed exploration. Players can drive powerful supercars, weave through traffic, participate in street races, complete parking challenges, and take on structured missions. Police pursuits and daring escapes add another layer of excitement, while earned currency can be used to improve vehicle performance. The game uses a realistic 3D style with reflective cars, busy roads, and an expansive urban environment. Engine noises, tire squeals, and police sirens help sell the sense of speed, although the real appeal is the freedom to ignore the objectives and simply explore. The current version is listed as an online early access experience, so players should expect continued additions and improvements as the development progresses. Driftball is a fast-paced pixel art action RPG set in a fantasy world being consumed by ancient evil. Players explore dangerous regions, enter dungeons, battle monsters, and face large bosses using real-time combat. Character progression, equipment, crafting, and hero development provide long-term goals, while a floating fortress acts as an important base during the adventure. The detailed pixel artwork gives Driftball a nostalgic appearance, with the classic 16-bit RPG feel, but its combat effects and movement are considerably faster and more modern. The soundtrack and heavy impact combat sounds help make even smaller encounters feel energetic. Exploration, secrets, and crafting give the game more depth than a simple action title, making it appealing to players who want an RPG that mixes quick battles with traditional character growth. Nimble Blade is a medieval sword fighting game focused on the timing and precision of close-range combat. Players enter tournaments and fight either one opponent or several combatants, learning when to attack, defend, and reposition. It also includes 2v2 and 3v3 modes, allowing fights to become more unpredictable when several swordsmen are moving around the arena at the same time. The visuals are pretty simple in this one, but that keeps the focus on weapon movement and positioning rather than the overwhelming special effects. That's a nice way of saying that the game really doesn't look so good. Metal clashes, swings, and impact sounds are especially important because they provide feedback during each exchange. Nimble Blade is built around multiplayer competition, although its prototype-like presentation means players should expect a smaller and more experimental experience than a fully produced mainstream fighting game. Sone Cursed Cabin is a first-person survival game that traps you inside a remote cabin following a violent storm. Players must explore dark rooms, search for useful items, solve environmental puzzles, and uncover possible escape routes while avoiding the disturbing creature hunting them. Different escape methods, including reaching the main gate or repairing a motorbike, encourage players to thoroughly investigate the property. The game uses shadowy 3D environments, narrow hallways, and limited visibility to create tension. Creaking floors, sudden noises, and threatening music are designed to make players question whether the monster is nearby. It's mainly a single-player horror experience, making it a good offline choice for anyone who enjoys puzzle-based games and horror-based titles. Bomber Legends is a fast-paced arena battler inspired by the classic bomb placement games. Players choose a hero, drop bombs to destroy obstacles, and attempt to trap opponents inside the explosion radius. Each hero has unique abilities, while the arenas contain pathways and defensive positions that can be opened and controlled as the fight progresses. The ultimate goal is to defeat enemy fighters and destroy their towers before they do the same to yours. Its colorful characters and exaggerated explosions give the game a lively arcade presentation. Matches are quick, chaotic, and easy to understand, but smart bomb placement and map control create a room for skill. Leaderboards, unlockable heroes, and competitive arena battles make online competition an important part of the package, especially for players who are enjoying Bomberman-style gameplay with a more modern hero-based structure. Monster Horror Escape is a first-person survival game that begins with the player trapped inside of a mysterious building. Sounds familiar to the other horror game. You must carefully search rooms, collect items, and determine how to escape while a dangerous creature patrols the environment. Higher difficulty settings make resources harder to locate and the pursuing monster more aggressive, creating a greater emphasis on stealth and memorizing the building's layout. Dark lighting, cramped rooms, and unsettled sound effects do most of the work in creating the game's atmosphere. Rather than giving the player a powerful arsenal, the experience focuses on vulnerability and the fear of being discovered. It's primarily a single-player horror game, so its appeal comes from headphones on, offline play, puzzle solving, and surviving sudden chase sequences. Tiny Aquarium is a relaxing, idle fish-keeping simulator in which players begin with a single egg and gradually construct a colorful aquatic collection. You can hatch, breed, catch, and sell more than 120 varieties of fish, then customize the aquarium with plants, decorations, and themed items. The tank continues to develop while you're away, making it easy to play in short sessions throughout the day. The blocky, miniature 3D artwork gives every fish a cute and collectible appearance, while the gentle music and bubbling aquarium sounds create a calm atmosphere. Although much of the progression works as a relaxed solo idle game, social features allow players to visit other aquariums, trade and join communal fishing rooms. It offers a nice combination of offline progression and online interaction without becoming overly demanding. Wizard World Harry's Mystery is an open-world magical adventure set inside of a large school of witchcraft and wizardry. Players control a young student named Harry, explore corridors, enter hidden rooms, cast spells, and solve mysteries scattered throughout the school. Rather than consistently directing the player through a checklist, it encourages experimentation, trying doors, interacting with objects, and seeing how different spells affect the environment. The castle-like environments, magical effects, and orchestral fantasy sound give it the feeling of stepping into a familiar wizard school world. Exploration is the main source of fun, especially when you discover a secret passage or successfully use a spell to solve a puzzle. The game is presented as an offline magical adventure, making it accessible to solo players, although some versions or features may still require an internet connection while the title remains in its early release period. So you're wondering what my favorites are? Of course you are. Well, you're going to be surprised, but Tiny Aquarium is one of my favorites from the list. I think that the artwork is great. I like the idle play, and I think it's just a cool, relaxing, chill game. And second, Pokemon Champions. How can I not be excited about that one? It's going to do great. It already has the IP. The gameplay seems insane. I think it's one that you guys are going to like as well. Let me know what your favorites are down below. And remember to subscribe to stay up to date on all gaming news and the top 10 lists.